You came to me in that hour of need, when I was so lost, so lonely. You came to me, took my breath away, showed me the right way, the way to lead. You filled my heart with love, showed me the light above. Now all I want is to be with you. You are my one true love, taught me to never judge. Now all I want is to be with you. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mustafa, ala habibika nabiyika Mustafa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The topic of discussion tonight is necessity of prophethood. Unfortunately, my colleagues are not here to have the laptop, so I have to just present it from my heart to you, and inshallah we are going to have the complete session as it is required. And we finished the whole discussion concerning God, His unity. We discussed about the issue of justice of Allah as the most profound attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all topics concerning justice of Allah is also finished, and we managed to answer the questions that you have. You are also free to ask me any question that is remaining, if there is one, and inshallah we will deal with them. The next topic on the basic principles of Islam is prophethood, which we are starting tonight. Now on this topic, we have to discuss, as we are required to have discussion based on logic and rationals. We have decided from beginning of discussion concerning the basic principles of Islam to have all done by logic and wisdom. Because without even Quran and Bible, we are able to prove that God is there, He is one, and He is just, and He has to send prophets, and then the prophethood has to have continuation, and also there is necessity for Day of Judgment. All of these can be proven based on logic of mankind, and we don't need actually to discuss anything further. So on that issue, the topic concerning the prophethood, we starting today, and inshallah probably about 5-6 sessions will be dedicated to the issue of prophethood. So as we announced, we are going to discuss about necessity of prophets, why we need prophets to be there. The issue of prophet and necessity of prophets has got a logical reason. And the logical reason behind the prophetic mission of every prophet which has been sent is so simple. The aim and objective of creation is perfection. God wants this creature called mankind to reach to Him and to be perfected. So human beings are like drops of water, and God is like an ocean. The whole aim and objective of this drop is to reach to the ocean. if you put the drop of water under the microscope, what you see? The formula is H2O. That is the formula for the drop. What about if you put the whole ocean under the microscope? Still you get the same result. It is H2O. Now, the question is why ocean can create tsunami? Why ocean is able to carry ships? Why ocean is so huge and create waves, but drop does not have those abilities? The drop has to reach to the ocean, to be united with the ocean, then the same drop can have all of those abilities. That is the story of mankind and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is inside mankind is a drop of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهَ مِنْ رُوحِي. I have whispered something from my own self into you. نَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. Something from me, a part of me is in you. So I have created you with something from me inside you. You have got built in something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that particular thing which is inside you, and it is not inside any other creature. You are able to think, you are able to differentiate between bad and good. You are able, based on that, to understand what is meaning of goodness, what is meaning of evil, and you can recognize what is the best thing for you to be done. Something from God is inside you. And that has got different names. Some people call it logic, some people call it wisdom, some people call it ruh or spirit, some people say no, it is nafs. Names are different, but the reality of what is inside you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same. That thing which made you to be a human being is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one which has given you the ability of differentiating between things is from Allah. Now, if you put you under that mighty microscope, it will give you the same formula as God. Because God is also the one which gives differentiation. He has got wisdom. He is the source of wisdom. So a part of that wisdom is in you. With the same ability which Allah gives, you are able now to differentiate. Now why you are not able and He is able so much is so simple. Because you are a drop which still you have to have a long journey of reaching to Allah. When you reach to Allah and you become united with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you can call, I am one with Allah. You reach to the position of Tawheed. When you reach to the position of Tawheed and you become one with Allah, then at the same time that you can say I, at the same time you can say I am united with Allah. When Hallaj comes and he says Inni an Allah, when Hallaj had that story of saying Inni an Allah, that is based on him reaching to Allah and being united with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This unity that you reach and you become united with Him will give you such an ability that you can claim those positions. Then we have two types of practices. With some of these practices you will reach so much high that you will become the eye for Allah. You will become the hand for Allah. That Allah, when He wants to do anything, He uses you. With your ability, with Allah's ability, you will be able to do a lot of wonderful things. But sometimes with, that is called qurbul faraiz. With obligatory things, you will get some positions. With nafl and recommended things, you will reach to the other higher position. That Allah will become your hand, Allah will become your eye, Allah will become your heart. In Quran, we have this famous ayah and verse which says, Ma ramayta iz ramayt, inna Allaha rama. Allah says to the Prophet, when you send that arrow during the war, and that arrow set on the target, it was not you which has been sent that arrow, it was me. I was behind it. What it means? It means the actual action was done by the Prophet. It was him who pulled the arch. It was him who released. And it was him who targeted. But the whole process, at the same time that it is related to the Prophet, you can relate it to Allah, because the main decision maker there was who? Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You become hand of Allah. Allah will use you as His own tools. That's why with the power of Allah, Jesus Christ can give life. With the power of Allah, you can go and maybe you see a patient and then all of a sudden you see that he will get better. When some people looks at you, they find tranquility in your face. And they also will experience tranquility with you. These are all powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Somebody may look at your face and see your future. That is by the ability that Allah will share. And you will have all of those powers. When you reach to Allah, you will become like Allah. And Allah Himself says in a very famous Qudsi hadith, says, Abdi ati'ni aj'aluka mithli. Oh my servant, just follow my instructions and you will become exactly like how I am. And then he explained more, how I am. When I say to something be, that thing will be there. Kun fayakun. You will reach to the position that like me, you will also have the power of kun fayakun. To that extent you will reach. But that is the closeness that you have. You will become forgiver as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. You will become as merciful as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will become as powerful, as knowledgeable, as foreseeing person, as somebody who has got so many wonderful powers, because now you are not yourself. You are united with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your wish also will be when you're united with Him. Your abilities also will be united with Him. Everything that you do in your life will be a type of works which is going to be managed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reaching to that position is also a very high position. So, the whole aim and objective of creating mankind is for you to reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From that drop, you reach to the ocean. You become united with Him. The process of a drop reaching to ocean is a very long process. It is not so much. Sometimes rain drops straight into the ocean and become united. Finish. It's end of story. It doesn't have so much of trying. That drop reached back to the sea, to the ocean. But sometimes the same drop of rain, instead of entering into the ocean, goes right at the top of the Mawand, top of the other, what you call Albors, and all of the other mountains. So when it reached there, then from the top of the mountain, the same drop start the journey to reach to the ocean. And that's a very, very long journey. So drops come down and sees a lot of obstacles. This water sees a lot of obstacles. Removes all of the obstacles. Reach to a place which a little bit of a water are gathered. Then the water may think that this is my end of destination. If you think so, then that is your end of story. You will not reach to the ocean. Drop should be very clever. Says, no, these are small aim and objectives, small achievements in my life. So you should not be busy with the small achievements and still continue your way. You may reach next time to a river. Still, it is not the ocean. Continue your journey. You may reach to a small sea, to maybe to Khazar, but still it is not the ocean. Still, you have to continue your journey until you reach to the ocean. The same process has got mankind. Some people, some mankind, they reach to a small position. They have made good dreams. They think, whoa, I have reached to a very high position. The process of reaching to Allah is so complicated, and inshallah when we finish the basic principles of Islam, we will start the issue of mysticism, and we discuss in detail the process of reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and self-building process, purification of soul, and all of that will be discussed in detail. But this journey is a very lengthy and also very fine journey, that it has got a lot of dangerous steps on the way for us. Sometimes you even becoming misguided with the process, because if you don't have a good teacher on that process, you will be lost. A lot of these people who has created religions here and there is because of the type of people that they reach to some position and they think this is the end of my journey, so I have already reached to where I was supposed to, and then they claim I am a prophet, I am this, I am that, and then people will follow them, but then they are very, very small children when it comes to reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are right at the beginning of the stage of reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it is a very complicated process. So the whole aim and objective is for you to have this long journey. Now, in this long journey, you need guidance, you need tools, and you need all of those things that it is necessary for you to understand and to learn and to follow. And those process, those knowledge, those things that you should differentiate has to be provided by God. Has to be provided somehow by you. You have to know the ways. You have to know the good and bad. You have to know that if this is harmful for my journey or it is necessary in my journey. If you don't have this knowledge, you may get lost, or you may get misguided, or you may get harmed with the process. So you need those knowledge. Now, the source of those knowledge sometimes is the aql and the wisdom, and what is coming from the knowledge side, the human being ability. But sometimes what we have, it is not enough. What we have, the ability to think, will take you to somehow forward, but it is not enough. It is not enough because knowledge of mankind has got some faults. If you remember right at the beginning of our discussion, we discussed about the necessity of revelation and necessity of religion. There we discussed that knowledge of mankind is very good. You can reach to become an Einstein. You can become whoever. You can get Nobel Peace Prize. You will become Edison. You will become the greatest philosophers. You can become Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, whatever. But at the end of the day, this knowledge of mankind has got some problems. The first problem with our knowledge that it is limited. It is limited because only the knowledge of mankind can reach to things which is sensible. Things that you can sense by your five senses. Touchable, smellable, or something that you can hear, something that you can taste. Only those. But beyond the five senses, knowledge of mankind says, sorry, I have no answer. You cannot put spirit under the microscope and say, what is the quality of the spirit? Yes, you can put an apple under the microscope and then you ask, what was the quality? It will give you a proper analyzation of exactly what is inside an apple. The technology is so advanced that it can give you how many calories are in this one apple. Okay? And in this apple is made of what elements? How much of that is sugar? How much of that is salt? How much of that is fiber? How much of that is this vitamin? How much of that is that vitamin? Every single element which is in apple, it will give you. But soul, it says, sorry, I cannot sense it. You cannot put the soul under the microscope. The metaphysical things you cannot touch. So knowledge of mankind is only limited to physical things. Non-physical, metaphysical things is out of the knowledge of out of the borders of the knowledge of mankind. Knowledge says, sorry, I have no answer. How people dreams, sorry, we don't know. So, knowledge is limited. Knowledge is limited because only what you know compared to what you don't know is a drop to the ocean. Every single seconds that we actually pass, the knowledge is so advanced that millions of information are created. New things are coming. All theories are all gone. For so many centuries we thought that the whole earth is not moving, is the center of creation. Later on we realized, no! It's just a particle in the whole universe. A particle. Compared to the universe, it's a particle. I saw an amazing documentary, last week, which made me think so much. There is, you think there is only one Milky Way galaxy. While we have billions of galaxies, some of those galaxies are a million times what you call bigger. Million times bigger than your galaxies. Do you know how much is the length of our galaxies? The length of our galaxy, if you want to go from the beginning up to the end of the Milky Way galaxy, it will take 100,000 years. Light speed. If light start traveling from beginning of our galaxy and reach to the end of our galaxy, it takes 100,000 light years. Light year meaning the light start traveling from sun, reach to earth in 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Now the same light start traveling from beginning of our galaxy, reach to the end of our galaxy, it takes 100,000 years. That big is our galaxy. Now there is other galaxies which is 1,000,000 times more bigger than our galaxy. Just imagine. There are galaxies which they are gone. The light of that is reaching to us now after billions of years of traveling, billions of years of traveling. Still there are lights which hasn't reached to us. So only we can see things probably which 1 billion years ago was living, and maybe that star or that galaxy is damaged, is gone. There is no such a galaxy anymore, but the light hasn't reached to us yet. That's how huge is the whole universe. And we are just a small particle. Our galaxy, concerning to all galaxies of the world, is just a small particle compared to a mountain. Compared to a mountain. Now, in that small particle, now we are the smallest element, which you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. That's how small we are. Now, with all of this, we have to understand that the Creator wants you to understand where you are, wants you to find your space in the whole universe, and realize the exact position that you are, and understanding how big you are, how small you are, how much distance is between you and Allah, and rectifying all of your faults for you to reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, in this process, the knowledge of mankind is too small, because still we don't know. When we say billions of galaxies are over there, is because Hubble, that big microscope in United States, up to this moment has managed to just find that is, it's so many. But they still say no, it is possible for us to reach to the end of universe, and then some people, they tell us that we have got the same problem. We have not received the lights of those other galaxies which are around, that we have not even managed to see them. That's how big it is. So, knowledge of mankind, you don't know nothing about the future, what's happening. You don't know nothing about the quality of Mars, the quality of Jupiter. You don't know nothing about what is happening in the other, what you call, planets. The quality of those planets, because we have not managed to send anyone. We only managed to land on the moon and to Mars. Somehow we have some information about only these two. The rest of planets are undiscovered. We have no knowledge about it. We have no knowledge about the beginning of creation. We have no knowledge of the end of creation. And all of these unknown things, compared to what we know, is so much, so huge. So huge. So we cannot trust limited knowledge. Then the knowledge is late. Knowledge is very good, but it is late, as we discussed. And the example, 14th century ago, somebody who hasn't been to school, he came and said, don't eat pork. He didn't say why. Now we realize, after 14th century, when we put it under microscope, we saw all of the worms and the medical tests, and said, this is harmful for mankind's body, so don't eat it. Now we realize what he said 14th century ago was scientifically also right. But we were going to suffer 14th century for us to realize. If we were trusting knowledge and experience of mankind and doctors, we were going to suffer 14 centuries. But God knew from beginning. Knowledge of mankind is very good, but the knowledgeable people, you have no guarantee that they are all good. You have no guarantee that knowledgeable people are all good. So simple. Every single criminal of the world, they were illiterate people or educated people. All wars which are created around the world are done by knowledgeable people or by illiterate people. Of course. Every single minister of defense of every country is somebody with a degree in his pocket. Every single president of the world is with a degree in his pocket. Everyone who planned to attack to Baghdad, to Afghanistan, to Yemen, to Palestine, to go and occupy the whole territory and oppress the people and expel the people of this land to overseas and let them suffer all of that, they are all knowledgeable people. They are not illiterate people. They are not people which you can say, no, these people, they don't know how to write and read. Knowledgeable people with the knowledge that they have, using their knowledge against mankind. The one who created atomic bomb was knowledgeable person. The one who produced it is a knowledgeable person. The one who carried it is a knowledgeable person. The one who shoot and throw it onto Nagasaki and Hiroshima and killed 2 million people within seconds, they are all knowledgeable people. The amount of atrocities in 20th century is more than 19th century. Because knowledge is more advanced in 20th century. As much as knowledge is more advanced, it was more harmful to mankind. So there is no guarantee if you have knowledge, this knowledge is going to be used properly. And knowledge is going to be used, in the right manner. Knowledge is good, but knowledgeable people cannot be always good. So all of these faults which are there, we cannot trust human knowledge because limited, it's late, and they are biased, and all of the problems that we have with the knowledge. Then all of these are the reason that we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if He wants us to reach from A to Z, if we want us to follow the process of purification of soul, and He expects us to have this long journey with no harm and reach to Him safely, He has to send prophets. He has sent 2 types of prophets. One is internal prophet, and that is your wisdom. If you follow your wisdom, most of your problems are sorted out. And also He has sent external prophets from outside to come and actually to correct you if you have made any mistake. And that prophet also should come to boost the position of the first prophet, because they cannot have contradictions. That's why, according to our school of thought, كُلَّمَا حَكَمَ بِهِ الْعَاقِلُ حَكَمَ بِهِ الشَّارِعُ. Whatever religion says, wisdom has to sign. Whatever wisdom sign, religion also has. That is the logical religion that we have, and it shows that prophets are necessary to be sent as people whom should get direct instruction from Allah, and by revelations that they will bring, we will be guided. And in the day of judgment, you don't have any excuse to say, sorry, I didn't know, because prophets are there to deliver the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is necessary for us to have prophets. Salawat.
My ummah, he will say, Rasulullah on that day, even though we've strayed from him and his way. My brothers, my sisters in Islam, let's struggle, work and pray.